Streamline your business with Javis Tax Services Payroll Services. We offer hassle-free payroll and direct deposit services for companies of all sizes. Our experts ensure that every detail is handled from setup to reporting. At Javis Tax Service, our cost-effective payroll solutions allow you to put your focus back on running your company. Call us today for a consultation and learn more about our payroll services. Call Javis Tax Service at 851-7112. That's 851-7112.
Hi, my name is Erica Gilliard, and I am representing the Gethsemane Youth Auxiliary right here in Columbia, South Carolina. On July the 30th, right here in Columbia, we're going to be having a youth day down at Finley Park starting at 3 o'clock p.m. We're going to be giving out school supplies. We have vendors. We have the group K4C coming all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. We also have Miss Ebony Dixon, who is a psalmist who's going to be performing for us. We also have Psalms 100. So come out, join us, and now we have Miss Teen Columbia, Alexis.
Yes, I'm Alexis Mitchell, your Teen Miss Columbia, Miss Black South Carolina. Join me in my project and bring toiletries for the girls in foster care.
That doesn't say much.
Marcus, you're going to be with the Pelicans next time we turn around.
I don't go for back on Pelicans. I'm mad at still name the franchise Pelicans.
You know what?
You can get you Anthony Davis jersey.
Hey, go to the Indiana Pacers and be an Indiana Pacer fan. Y'all lost Paul George.
You was a Sixers fan last year, too, remember? You said the Sixers. He said they were going to the playoffs on this very show. He said that.
Playoffs. They were going. Who was going to the playoffs?
The Sixers. He said that on this very show.
And that's why everybody is hurt all the time. That's half the problem. See, you know what? See, this is the reason why you cannot be a sports fan right now, Marcus.
I love to be a sports fan.
No, you are choosing teams that mean that.
I go for the Lakers, so that means a lot.
No, you big baller brand. That's all you got.
All right. I enjoy it. Go Lakers.
Go Lakers. Listen.
And the Hornets too, like I said.
And
they close to the house.
Hornets, baby.
There you go.
I'm a Charlotte guy.
You're a Charlotte guy? Okay. There we go. What you there for when we get to the playoffs?
How they in Charlotte? They're still in Charlotte?
They're still in Charlote.
Came back.
Who's your NFL team?
Packers.
Packers?
We got to get you off the show today.
No, can't do this today. No. Don't come to Packers.
Panthers, because I'm from Charlotte, too. So.
See,
there you go.
But I got to give him the Packers because you know what? Brett Favre was the man.
We good?
Okay. Brett Favre was good. I give you that.
I don't like Aaron Rodgers. That's my only problem.
How can you not like Aaron Rodgers?
I don't like him.
All right, guys. We're going to go live in 10 seconds. All right. I'm going to introduce the show, introduce who we got here, and then we'll go straight into talking with Coach Harden and Coach Drafts. All right. So I introduce the coaches. I let them know their accolades or what you want to call it, bios. And then from there, we can start with the questions, all that good stuff. All right. Yeah. We'll go back and forth. Maybe 2 questions at a time, or just go back and forth. We even put her on the show too. So yeah. All right. You ready? Oh yeah, Facebook Live. Thank you for watching us tonight. Like I said, we got all the coaches here. So ready for a good show. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for watching show number 21 of the Walk Ons Radio Show. As you see, we got literally a full table today. We got Chris.
What's going on, y'all?
We got Opie.
What's going on?
We got new guy to the show, new addition, Tremaine.
Yo.
We also got Mr. Robert Kennett.
Yes, sir. Great to be here.
And, of course, we got all the coaches here. We got coaches from River Bluff, AC Florida. We got coach from R&D. We got coach from Carter Newman. And later on the show, we got Coach Bart from Laurel Richard. He'll be flying in from Charleston. But on the table right now, we got Coach Harden from River Bluff. And we got Coach Drafts from AC Florida. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Doing great
here.
Good. So, like I said, we're going to have 2 shows. Tonight, we're having part 1. Next week, we got part 2. those are pretty much triple the coaches. We got a lot of coaches coming in next week, from Chapin to Lexington to all that stuff. So make sure you tune in next week also as we get more coaches in. We're doing this to preview for the upcoming high school football season. That's right around the corner with the jamborees and sports aromas and key games for many teams. Most of these coaches are first-year coaches here at the program, and we're looking forward to see what they can offer. So first thing today, we got River Bluff, Coach Harden. He's also the athletic director there, coming from North Myrtle Beach High School. 5 years at Porter Ridge, also winning Class 4A titles and a 50-18 overall record when he was over there. And then also we got Coach Colin Drafts. He coached in Florida for 6 years, one as a head coach, and he played in arena football. He played here in South Carolina at Battery Creek High School and at Charlotte Southern. He's in the Hall of Fame for both schools and currently just elected into the Big South Conference Hall of Fame. Coaches, y'all feeling good?
Feeling great.
So, Coach Hart, let's start with you. How do you feel for the upcoming season for River Bluff, knowing that you're new here at the school, been open for about a good 4 years? How do you feel about this upcoming season? Oh, also introduce your daughter too.
This is Grayson, so she's happy to be a Gator. So we're both real excited. You know, it's here. I mean, it starts in about 3.5 weeks, so it's here. You know, I'm eager to, you know, you got up here this spring, so a lot of teaching this spring, still a lot of teaching this summer, and you know, I'm ready to put on the shoulder pads and, you know, kind of see where we're at physically right now, because, you know, we've got a lot of teaching in, but until I'm anxious to see us hit, you know, blocking and tackling, and which are the two key components. So, you know, a lot of good teaching, like I said, and just ready just to, you know, thump a little bit to kind of see where we are physically. Yeah,
Coach Josh, this is also your first year at AC Flora.
Right.
How do you feel about your team coming in from last year? I know they made the playoffs last year. Right. A lot of key guys, you know, left for this year, but still got a strong offensive line coming in. How do you feel about your team this year?
Now, I feel good about it. Like you mentioned, we're going to be very young this year. Graduated, I think, 25 seniors from last year. Only have 7 or 8 returning starters, but I'm excited about it. Everything's brand new for me coming back in my home state of South Carolina. I feel like AC Flora is a great place to be, great support, great community support, good admin support, a lot of good players coming back. We're young. We need to figure out who we're going to be right away and get after it, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Now, I know for you, Coach Drafts, and anybody can jump in after this, for the key players coming for you, Coach Drafts, we got coming in from Keenan and Josh Heatley.
Right.
And then, of course, the offensive line, like I said, everybody except for one senior left last year.
Right.
So that's a sign for good potential for the QB. What you got to say about the offensive line with Liggins and Bostic being there still?
Yeah, you know, that's definitely going to be the anchor of our offense. We had, you know, as far as experienced guys that played a lot last year, we only have 1 or 2 starters coming back, but Liggins will fill in there. Charles Bostic actually is going to play a little D-line this year. But the guys we have coming back, I feel really good about, kind of anchored by our center, Alif Kiza. Started for us last year, has a lot of experience there. He's going to be a captain for us probably. And like you said, the O-line is going to be, you know, very important for our quarterback. Going to be brand new, kid named Josh Heatley. Actually started a couple games for Keenan last year. He's kind of been our guy from day one ever since I got there, taking all the reps with the first string QB. But he's looking really good so far, and looking forward to see what he can do.
Good.
Well, I'm glad. I wanted to actually ask Coach Blair. I wanted to ask you this because I see, you know, a lot of the success that you've had at a lot of different at some of the schools that you've currently been at, and I mean that's impressive to see your resume and how you have improved as far as in each program. But I wanted to know, coming to a school like River Bluff after a 1-9 season, 0-6. Actually in their region, what is the culture? What kind of culture are you looking to bring to the program this year for these kids that are causing them to buy into what you have done, the success that you've had from other schools as well?
Well, you know, when you start off, it all starts with your staff. For your kids to buy in, your coaches have to buy in first. So, you know, it's you know, having the right people to communicate to the kids each day and hold them accountable. The biggest thing is, you know, we talk about culture mentality every single day, and you know, I've learned kind of where we are as a young program, but it's not who we want to be. And we talk a lot about being tough and giving great effort every day in everything we do. And that's one thing that we really talk about each day is just being tough in the weight room, on the practice field, because that will hopefully carry over on Friday night. So just having a tough mentality if it's hard, find a way, because it's not going to be, because there's a lot of good teams, a lot of great coaches in this area. So, for us to be able to compete, we're going to have to be tough and do the small things right.
Dutch Fork is on the schedule. Oh, man. How do you feel about that being, in the top of the region of where you're at in the class you're in? I mean, what do you see your needs being met, and how fast do you feel like you need to get them met before, you meet certain key matchups? Like I said, you got Dutch Fork, Lexington, and Chapin. And so how do you feel like, where do you need to be?
It's a very tough region. Dutch Fork has a lot of tradition. I've known Coach Knotts since I was her age. He's from the Charlotte area, so I've known him. Him and my dad went up against each other for 30 years in Charlotte. So he's always has well-coached teams, good athletes, and, it's going to be a challenge. The biggest thing is you want to limit your mistakes no matter who you're playing. We know we're going to face tough teams, but you don't want to turn the ball over, limit your penalties, and, just block and tackle. And if you do that, I think you can be competitive. And, we're going to face tough teams. And, we're a little different offensively. We're a triple option in the shotgun team. So hopefully that helps us, nullify talent a little bit, because, triple can be, triple, it is what it is. So hopefully that can help us in key matchups to where we might face teams that have, bigger and faster, stronger.
Yeah, and just like you're saying, because the triple option is hard to defend when it's executed properly.
Games management, for real.
It is, but when executed properly, it's really hard to defend, especially when you got key components like your quarterbacks and running backs. And when those guys are clicking, it's just it's for a defense, that is one of the most frustrating things in the world.
I hope.
So that's just being honest.
You get it rolling, because you really can't. You can pass. You put 8 people in the box, and then you get somebody behind that safety. It's a wrap.
Oh yeah.
So somebody breaks the tackle.
Coach Draft, now you lost Watkins, you lost Cam Riley, you lost Corey Riley, the Riley Buzz, and then of course Rodney was the one of the key players for AC4.
Right.
How is it hard to replace them this year with the players coming in, or who do you think will be pretty much the key guys to help rebuild or get over the hump for, let's see them more into the playoffs?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough to replace a team that went to the second round, upsetted Myrtle Beach in the first round last year, which is huge for AC Floor, graduated 25 seniors, but I think I've inherited a great group of young kids that I feel really excited about. I think when you're coming in as a new head coach, you would probably rather be young, than be extremely experienced. So I feel like in year one that we've got a good, solid foundation laid up to this point, and at the end of the day, it just comes down to, going out there and competing and teaching our guys, how to, like Coach talked about, we always preach effort, attitude, toughness, and compete. That's kind of what we're going to be built on, and hopefully that adds up to the wins on Friday night. But as far as the guys we have coming back, even though we're young, not going to have many seniors that start next year, probably only 6 or 7. But below that, I feel really confident with our rising junior class, and then a handful of sophomores that we'll have probably starting this year as well. So I feel really confident about what we have.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, Coach Drafts, I see you play some arena football. Is you're going to bring that kind of wide open offense style to the? Oh man, there's a lot of scoring.
I wish you could have the guy looping in full speed motion running down the field. But arena football, had a lot of fun playing it, but completely different than the outdoor game. Fun experience for me, but we play fast. We're spread, no huddle. Love to run the football. That'll kind of be our brand and build around that moving forward.
Okay, for both coaches, the 7-on-7, how did that go, and how do you think that experience will translate into the season?
Well, being an option team, and we throw the ball this way laterally, but it was good. It's we're kind of a spread option team, and we're a big play action, quick game team. So we even in 7-on-7, we're 2-back triple, because that's kind of who we are. So it was good to because we're really young at the quarterback position, so they could see their read and see second and third levels, and for our defense, just to get experience, because you can't line up and communicate enough, and so hopefully that will help our defense.
Yeah, 7-on-7 for us. I think it's good and bad at times. I like to get out there, like Coach talked about, competing with your guys, communicating, putting your base offense in your base defense. But, I can only speak for us. But even though we're not triple option, our offense isn't built to go out and kind of win a 7-on-7 tournament. I think it's good to go out there and compete, but we go out there and actually run what we're going to do on Friday night to help us, win games in the fall. Which I think some teams do that and some teams don't. So, just depends on how you treat it, and, that's the way we do it.
Draft, being from here, how much pressure it is being a home kid, you know, being from here, like how much pressure you feel, you want to do, like you just...
Yeah, you know, I don't feel any pressure from that standpoint, even though, I mean, I'm from South Carolina, but I'm from Beaufort, so not a ton of, you know, pressure coming into Columbia. I feel like I'm kind of the new guy, and I'd prefer it that way anyway. So.
Awesome. Well, first game for Red Bluff will be against Chapin on August 18th. First game for AC Flora will be against Woodruff. All of those are home games, so make sure you go out and check them out. Coach Drafts and Coach Harden, thank you for coming out, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having us.
When we come back, we got the Clemson Insider with the new guy, Mr. Robert Kenneth. Stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? This is Marcus, a.k.a. Diesel. And you listen to the Walk Ons on Freethinkers Radio.
That's me. Coaches, thank y'all very much.
Oh, man, thank y'all, man.
Guys, I appreciate it.
Man, good luck. You be in touch.
Graceland.
Awesome.
All right, Grayson.
Y'all good?
Held on. She did all right.
Good. Y'all be coming on after the Insider. Then we go from there, all right?
Throw it to me, or
We're gonna bring it in, and then we'll introduce what we'll do for the questions. Cause I know everybody had questions to ask. We'll do like me, Opie,
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Chris, you, Jermaine. Well, actually,
do like an overview of the season to start with.
that'd be fine. And for the Insider, yeah. But when we get back to the questions of the coaches, we'll just go like me, Opie, Jermaine, you, Chris, and then go from there.
Okay.
So pretty much like every other person, pretty much. So I know everybody has some questions.
Ooh.
All right.
Hey, that's some good questions right there, man.
The cameras are going down.
Hey.
Down.
Hold on.
The cameras are going down.
Not pull the song out on me.
The whole song with I don't know who this is in the comments talking about go Cavs.
Listen,
Blind writings. They say it's not gonna happen, my guy.
You know what? But you know what?
When it hurts so bad, it gotta burn.
You know what? But we not.
I'm not going there. I'm not doing it.
Not today. Jerseys this year, though.
Not today.
y'all can tell.
Hey, I'm the type of brother that been doing it for so long.
See.
Man, look.
It's all good.
Everybody that's on Facebook Live, make sure you share us. Make sure you send your comments, send your questions.
Man. Send in your questions. Share the post. Don't share the usher.
Hey, Dave, that means you're gonna be rooting for the Cavs this year, right? Don't. Why do you gotta give me that face?
Hey, you bandwagon with me, baby?
You know what? Don't be. All right, man. Have a good one, man. Nice to meet you.
Welcome back to the Walk Ons. Make sure you share us on our Facebook, our Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram,
Periscope.
Twitch, Periscope, YouTube.
We are now on iHeartRadio as well.
Yes,
folks. iHeartRadio, yeah.
We are now on iHeartRadio, so make sure you watch us on our podcast. We got shows from the very beginning until now. So make sure you check us out, and make sure you tell your friends all that good stuff.
Chris, you felt so good telling them that, didn't you?
Huh?
Chris felt so good saying that, Mike.
Yes,
he felt so incredible.
I really did.
It's my life.
It's all because of y'all, though. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all are the reason we got this.
He was actually singing. We are iHeartRadio.
For real?
Listen. Oh, yeah.
Is it baritone?
Is it alto or soprano?
That's right. Get the Cavs how you have hope.
With us today, we got a new segment called the Clemson Insider, and we are glad to have Mr. Robert Kinder on the panel. Mr. Robbie, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Now, I know we have the Gamecock Insider, we have the Fireflies Insider, but why not have 3 on our radio show with the Clemson Insider?
Yeah.
I know we're in Columbia, South Carolina. This is Gamecock country, but we do have a lot of Clemson fans here too, so we might as well represent them also, huh?
Yes, sir. Sounds great.
No bucks.
Well, we ain't talking about no Charleston Southern, right?
No. Ohio
It's still
State.
Carolina.
Man. Ohio State.
I see it. Oh, the Buck. Oh, my bad. See, that's why
They really don't know.
I don't think you want to talk about that matchup in the playoff last
We don't.
I do.
he was trying very far to avoid that conversation.
Well, we got a bunch of sophomores and freshmen, so hey, don't judge us.
Yeah.
If y'all the one, you'd be like,
that speaks for itself, I guess.
It does. Because Deshaun Watson was just ridiculous in that game. So I'm not even going to front about that.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome, and that surprised me. I was really expecting a close game. Never seen
Tigers.
So what we got for Clemson today, man?
As a long-time Clemson fan, it was awesome to be in Tampa last year, and I was on about 26 rows up on the 10-yard line on the same end zone that they scored the winning touchdown.
Cool.
It was, surreal to be there and to see that unfold, and the touchdown with 1 second left. You couldn't hardly get any more dramatic than that. So,
now I was watching the game, and I was watching as a Gamecock fan. I would say so. I was hoping that please don't let them score this touchdown. Cause I don't feel like hearing this for no whole list. Like after my whole life to listen.
Yeah, you didn't get away from that.
Listen,
you got the first national.
Oh yeah, so I really did not want to score a touchdown, but it's still good for the state of South Carolina for that to happen. Hopefully, South Carolina will learn something and try to do something. But we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that next week.
Touche. Yeah.
Now, last year, Clemson had, of course, the key players, Deshaun Watson. He's going out to the NFL now, and he's with the Houston Texans. Mike Williams is with the Chargers. How can those be replaced in a way? Cause I know they got a lot of key returners coming back.
Yeah, well, you're not going to replace a Deshaun Watson. You've got to you got to improve your running game, and you got to rely on that defense this year, I think, and then see what happens at quarterback. And my main thing with the quarterback battle is going to be Kelly Bryant, and he's going to have the opportunity to start probably in the first game, and then Hunter Johnson came on strong in the spring, a 5-star coming down from Indiana, and I think it's going to be those two battling out. First game, you get a warm-up game with Kent State, so that's an opportunity to see who's got the upper hand as far as quarterback, who's going to move the team down the field. But the learning curve stops after that. You got Auburn in week 2 coming in with Jared Stidham, so these guys are going to have to be ready to play in week 2. So you don't want to still be wondering who's your quarterback, who's going to be the man. I just think you think back to 2014, the last time Clemson didn't have an incumbent in quarterback. They had to replace Taj Boyd, start off with Cole Stout. And
who can remember Cole Stout?
Yeah. I got a question. I want to know their defense, because 2014 they had one of the top 5 rated defenses in the nation.
All right.
And I think now they have to get back to their roots, because I think they've been a top 3-tier defense for the last since 2014.
Yeah.
I just think Deshaun Watson coming on late helps it. It don't hurt you when you got a quarterback that dynamic and can throw the ball. So what do their defense look like?
Well, you got Dexter Lawrence and some of the big guys up front, Christian Wilkins, Cleveland Farrell. The front is going to be the strength. I've seen some preview magazines that had Clemson's D-line rated #1 defensive line in the country. So they'll have to set the tone. You get Kendall Joseph back at one of the linebackers, and the other linebacker, you lose Ben Boulware. So he's an emotional leader.
Boulware is a beast.
And
what?
Understatement of the year.
Understatement.
I was hoping he would go to the Panthers and join Pickle.
No,
listen, we need him.
Yeah, he is with the Panthers, Boulware. So we'll see. He's a free agent. So we'll see.
Really?
Yeah.
How does those safety positions look? The cornerbacks, that secondary.
Yeah. Well, they got Marcus Edmond coming back. You got Mark Fields coming back.
Okay.
At the cornerback. So you've got some experience back there. Safeties, they're going to go Tanner Muse at one safety. That played a little bit last year, didn't start. Van Smith is a returning starter, so they're going to they have some experience back there, but they're going to be relying on that D-line to get some pressure and to make it easier.
How about the special teams?
Special teams, you got. I did go to the spring game. I saw Will Spires is going to be taking over the punting, and he's got a stronger leg than what we had last year. So that's an
upgrade.
Yeah.
I think it will be more interesting to see if how Clemson bounces back from some of the inconsistency that they've had over previous years. They've been successful as far as like because I know last year they really at the end of the season really started progressing and getting a lot better, because at the beginning of the season it was like, ooh, I don't know what kind of Clemson.
When you get when you got a once in a lifetime quarterback like
Deshaun,
right? But hey, they do got the #1 QB coming in 2018.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. So that's going to be a battle next year.
Yeah,
we talk. Whoever wins it this year is going to have a battle the next year.
So the way Clemson is, because that was actually being smart here. He's racking up for the next 3 to 5 to almost 6 years of being in the top 10.
That's true.
And if he, for some odd reason,
how does that sound coming off your lips?
It hurts. It really does hurt right now. Because it's hurting real bad to say this. Because I'm a diehard Gamecock.
Go Gamecocks.
Good. Go ahead, get it out. All right. But I'm gonna say it because this is my job. Clemson's starting up to be in the top 10 for the next 3 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Especially getting a #1 QB I believe from California.
No, he's from Georgia.
Georgia.
6'7", 205. So he's got kind of a string bean right now, but he'll put the weight on by the time he gets to Clemson. They'll get him in there.
I'm pretty sure.
Now, do you buy the narrative that Dabo may leave if the Alabama spot comes available?
Well, I'm beginning to believe that less and less every year. He gets more comfortable. His children are. He's got his son now as a freshman at Clemson. So the longer he stays, the more ingrained into the community he is. He's got his all-in foundation. A lot of people in the community love him. They've adopted him as one of their own. So, I mean, if Alabama comes calling, he'd definitely listen. But I don't think it's a slam dunk that he would leave just because he's so ingrained in the culture. And I heard him say recently that he's looking forward to the 20-year reunion when Deshaun comes back with a little beer gut and he can hang out and joke around with those guys. So he is thinking in those terms of maybe sticking it around and retiring.
What conference you feel is stronger? I mean, ACC with the integration of some of these Big East schools that were already pretty good football schools. Louisville, West Virginia went to the Big 12.
Right.
That would have been an excellent. But some of these other Big East schools that are not ACC powerhouses. Right. Virginia Tech still up there, not as good as they used to be with Mike Vick, but. What do you think about that? And
excuse me.
No, go ahead.
The coaching is as good as it's ever been in the ACC. You got Mark Richt down at Miami, Justin Fuentes, I believe it is, over at Virginia Tech. So, I mean, these are coaches that are on the rise, that are either, in Mark Richt's case, he's been successful for a long time, and he's back in the school that he played for. So he's built.
Team does better than another team. Does that mean let a team win a championship 3 years or 4 years in a row? Let a conference be in the continuous number one in bowl game wins for at least 5-6 years. Yeah. Then we can talk.
Where's your team at?
I represent SEC right now. I ain't talking about the game.
So it's the SEC now.
Huh? Well, SEC.
Listen.
All right.
You see, I got this Gamecock shirt. Look, I got this Gamecock shirt on. I got to be real.
I got one too.
My God.
Hey, y'all hear? As a whole, I try to represent saying the SEC is still better.
But Clemson,
until something happens.
No, but think about it. The past 2 years, the SEC has not been on top of his game.
They have been
Clemson
great.
And the ACC this past season performed they had some of the top quarterbacks that you would say in college football all year.
Facts.
Right. Facts.
I will agree.
Now, the year before that, the Big Ten had some of the top running backs.
I will agree with that too.
In college football. So for the past 2 years, the SEC has been struggling. And then think about this: every quarterback from the SEC, when they go pro, they are irrelevant. No. They are nowhere to be found.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hold on. Who's the last relevant SEC quarterback?
Nobody.
AJ McCarron's on the bench.
And you said continuous, right? So the last 2 years. 2 years means it's a continuation from 1 year, right? So
the last 2 years, it has been a struggle. Right. But I still won't give them the crown as best conference. I totally disagree with that.
Listen.
Well, we can
Well, give me a 4-year sample size, if you will.
The 4-year sample size.
So we're halfway right now. We need 2 more years of that. And then
Florida State won it, 4 years ago in Clemson. So 2 out of the last 4
years
to the ACC. And only one to the
Big Ten,
one to the Big
one to the SEC.
So you're right. He's right though.
If you give me a 4-year sample size.
Correct.
In 4 years, let the AC win another championship within the next year or two. Then we can talk.
Right.
But as of right now, SEC is still best conference.
That's what you say. Not necessarily.
It's definitely the Big Ten.
10-year sample
Who
size.
said? I'm just saying.
We're back on the Walk Ons. We got Coach Carl Newman and Rich Norris coming up. Stay tuned.
Last
But
year.
it's definitely not the Big Ten. Big Ten don't really need to be in this discussion.
Come on.
5 years ago, if you would have said that, it would have been the SEC. But now, since Florida State and Clemson now winning, I want to say they don't even, for the last 5 years, they don't even plateaus because, I mean, with the emergency of Florida State coming back being powerhouse contenders.
I know you ain't forgot James.
Rick down in Florida or down in Miami, getting the job and making that maybe one of the best spots again, putting the U back where it's supposed to be. Virginia Tech always been Virginia Tech, Boston College, Pittsburgh. I mean, you got to say it's on even playing field because, I mean, Alabama's just been ranking supreme for the last 10 years. 4 years ago.
He's been recruiting, but you think, I mean, with Alabama, he's been, kids are already like wanting to commit before they even get there. And that's for like 2-3 years out.
But that's only Alabama. We're talking about, when we say ACC, you go Miami, you go Virginia Tech, you go,
The difference from the SEC the last couple of years is they've had the second place team's got 4 losses instead of like 2 losses like they had it going for a while.
That's true.
You gotta give credit where it's due. Right now, ACC, like, they got the crown right now.
I would never say.
Listen,
it'll be better at SC.
I hear you.
Welcome back to Walk Ons. Back to commercial break. That's how you right there.
Just say thank you, Big East. That's all you got.
Marcus is in his feelings right now because we are not giving South Carolina any credit.
Oh, we give South
Carolina will get that credit.
But they are good, though.
Welcome back to the Walk Ons. We had a great discussion. We're probably going to continue this at the end of the show, but hey. We got, make sure you follow us on, see, I'm heated now.
Follow us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch,
Periscope.
Instagram, Twitter, and we are now on iHeartRadio as well.
Thank you, Chris.
At the Walk Ons.
Thank you very much.
Chris, you want pom-poms?
Just a little bit. I'm happy right now. Listen, I'm on 10.
As you see, we got 2 new coaches on the table now. We got Coach Ragel from Richmond Northeast, and we got Coach Dutton from Carter Newman. Thank you guys for coming in tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good. So for Coach Ragel, first-year head coach at Richmond Northeast, been there for a while now. Was the defensive coordinator for 2 seasons at Richmond Northeast, and now he's in the reins after Coach Fry was in charge for over my whole life. He's been there for a while.
19 years.
19 years. Almost.
Yeah, 19 years.
Yeah, that's good right there.
And for Coach Dutton, their year as a head coach at Carter Newman, been there before as a defensive coordinator, and he had coached stints in Florida, and he played. Make sure we put it out there too. He played at Indiana State.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
For the Sycamores, and now he's a head coach. I also coached there at Indiana State too. Just out there.
Yep.
Now he's a head coach at Carter Newman. So thank y'all for coming in. First for you, Coach Ragel. Last year. Now I know I followed y'all last year. Now for people that did not know this, I did coach 84, so we had the opportunity to play with Northeast last year, and I have to say, Coach Ragel, that was one of the toughest games I ever witnessed. Because it was a 7-3 ball game. So tell me the comparisons from last year that you might see this year coming up.
Well, that was a defensive struggle.
It was.
So defensively, we hope we can match that output again. We got, like I said earlier, we have 4 total returning starters coming back, both sides of the ball combined. So the main thing with us is just inexperienced guys, not necessarily young guys. We have some seniors who maybe didn't play last year, took a year off. So it's mainly just guys we don't really know how they're going to respond under the lights. But defensively, I hope we can match that intensity. Offensively, we're going to change things a little bit. So you won't see it. We're going to spread it out. We're going to run some option stuff at a pistol, try to level the playing field a little bit. So offensively, hopefully we can score more than 7 points against SC4.
Hey, I'm just saying, just to throw that out there. That was a great defensive game. Coach Dutton, now you have this is an independent school, just to let people know. So it's not going to be as big as, Richmond Northeast and all that stuff. But still, real good squad. They went 3-6 last year, but at the same time, they got pretty good comers coming back for this year. You got Zion Spurfield, you got Noah Thompson, and you got USC prospect Paxton Reedy coming in 6'7". I'm still amazed by that. That's like...
It's a man amongst boys.
Right.
It's a grown man right
What
there.
have you been giving this child, So, Coach, tell me about your team coming up this season.
Yeah, well, we're still pretty young. We have about 12 to 15 seniors, but a lot of the kids have never played before or in their second year of playing. So we're in the process of rebuilding, and I think the excitement's there. And like I said, the kids have been working hard. We're pleased with our summer. We're looking forward to see how it translates into the fall.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, right there. Shoot, I want to ask. I want to know. Okay, with Richland Northeast, I'm paying attention. You know, after seeing Coach Fry for 19 years, the culture, definitely how he has really the success of a lot of athletes going to different schools, coming out. I mean, he has some phenomenal athletes, like even people like an Aries Curry or different guys have gone to big schools, and even getting deep in the playoffs. How do you feel is going to be that you need to do to really come back and really follow up with that success and say, hey, I want to create my own level of success here, but I want to be able to have that winning program again? What do you feel like you need to do so that these kids can actually bring that level of success for you guys to the program?
Yeah, Coach Fry did a good job, obviously, for as long as he was there. He didn't leave things broken by any means. Things were not broken at all. You know, we're just trying to, you know, like I tell people, just maybe trying to give it a new paint job.
Yeah.
So
new paint job, new helmets, and new
literally a new paint job, and the decals. But we're just trying to change some of the cultural things with, you know, like Marcus and I were talking about, the uniforms and the helmets. Just trying to make things a little more exciting for the kids. Trying to get the community more involved, the parents. You know, we've had a lot of parental support this spring and this summer. Just trying to get everybody to buy in and get everybody excited.
Right.
You know, we went through. I've been there since 2008, and when I got there, Northeast was the Northeast that you just mentioned.
Right.
And they opened a new school in Richland too, and you know, our enrollment dropped, and we went through a few years there where we struggled. We struggled with numbers, and we struggled with a lot of stuff. Things are starting to level out a little bit, and as they do, we're just trying to get that excitement back. And I think once we do that, you know, we can hopefully get back to that level we once were at.
Well, seeing that last year with the I know, like, not last year, but I think it was last year. But actually, the program having them have one of their first home games at the stadium. I seen the success that they had there, so I definitely see what you're talking about as far as
trying to do some new things, just some fresh things to change, you know, perspective on certain things.
Definitely.
Oh, okay, Coach. From being at Skeezer, you know, independent, private, with the murders of, you know, Lattimore going there, Heathwood, so it's giving it more life and more people be looked into. What do you bring to, you know, with that excitement coming?
Well, I think that a lot of times people overlook the talent that's in Skeeza. If you look over the last 5 or 6 years, there's been as many Division I athletes come from Skeeza as come from the Midlands. So, you know, there's SEC offers around our league right now. Our young man Patrick Reedy is being looked at by all the teams in the Southeast. So, while the teams aren't as big and the talent from top to bottom isn't as I guess consistent, the top end is pretty good. You know, Bryce Thompson last year was one of the best players in the state of South Carolina. So, you know, I think sometimes that's overlooked. Obviously, having Coach Lattimore on board brings, you know, a little bit more of a spotlight, and it's good for all of us.
What do you plan on doing? I guess integrating, you know, Ben Lippin, Heathwood Hall, you know, some of the, you know, big key matchups. But what about, you know, some of these city schools? Maybe later on down the line, trying to get some schedules so that you can play, you know, AC floor or Northeast.
I would love to. I think that, you know, we would love to as we grow. And, you know, we're trying to change the culture just like everybody's talking about. And there hasn't been a strong tradition at Cardinal Newman. But, you know, I would love to be able to play the public schools and compete across the board. And we're all game for that. And I think that's the way it's going to move.
Now I look forward to that because me playing, I used to play for Columbia High. We look forward to playing anybody in the city. When you're good, you just look for, you know, a bragging tool to say we beat them. So you can go like, I beat them when I was younger. So I guess it'll be another, you know, good measuring stick, I guess, measure yourself against the city and make football around the community that much better. So that with being said, who are some of the, you know, the athletes, what type of athletes are you looking for around the city that could help you in your program?
Well, right now we just focus on who we have in our school, and we have, like I said, Patrick's a kid that played basketball until last year, so he's young as far as experience. He's about 6'7", 250 now. He's 210 last year.
That is ridiculous.
He is a big young man, and you know, we have a lot of kids. The big thing is getting the kids out that necessarily wouldn't be traditional football players, and getting them in the weight room and committing to the program and being in there for 3 or 4 years and being able to develop into college level athletes. You know, I think the better you are, the more people are interested. The higher level you play, the more athletes come. But in South Florida, the best schools in the country were St. Thomas Aquinas, and the private schools are where it was at, and the Midwest where I grew up, that's where that was at. So I don't see why it can't be the same thing here.
Coach Waggle, and then I'll let Wabi get in there. Chris, now you lost key players: Cedric, Marvez, Mike Joyner, Tim, Big Tim. Well, he was Little Tim before, now he's Big Tim.
Yeah.
But you still got the Hill brothers, so you got other key players coming back. It's like your team got speed. That was the effect y'all had last year. And now, you got more players coming in. What do you think about this year's coming up with the players you lost this year to the players you got coming in now?
Yeah, we lost over 30 seniors last year. Like I said, we're returning 4 total starters. So, we have – it's not necessarily youth. I mean, we have some young guys, sophomores, that we're going to count on to start. But we have some seniors, like I said, that maybe took a year off last year. They just don't have that experience. You mentioned the Hills brothers, Jaquan and Javon. Jaquan's one of the returning starters. Both of them are returning starters. Jaquan's wide out, and Javon's going to play both ways. They're both play both ways, but Javon's a corner. But we're going to kind of build things around our quarterback. Charles Simons, he's our senior. He's a dual-threat kid. He's a really great runner. So that's why we're going to try to build things around him, go to more option-based stuff. We sat down in the spring and kind of decided, do we want to stay in 10 personnel and spread it out like everybody and win a handful of games and be happy, or do we want to do something different to give us a chance to maybe beat some teams at the end that we maybe have no business beating? And I think with this offense, we have a chance to do that.
Because you only had one home loss last year. I believe.
Maybe.
All right, I got 2 questions really quickly. All right, so we got one of our comments from a Meek Brown for Cardinal Newman's coach. They said, Heaven Brown Schuler from St. John Newman says hi. He said, you met him, he's standing at 5'7" last year in the 5th grade, and now he plays some B team. Yeah. He said, he's now standing 6 feet tall going to 6th grade. They want to know, are you ready for him, Coach?
We're ready and waiting.
All right, Meek said they're ready.
That's like cornbread fed right there.
And then another thing, this is for both coaches. Coach Weigel, so this is your first year as a head coach. What's something you learned from Coach Fry that's gonna help you in your head coaching in this school? And then
Coach Dutton.
Yeah.
There we go.
Coach Dutton, you've been doing this for 3 years now. What's something you learned in your 3 years that's gonna help you?
You take it first?
Well, hold on, Coach, because we got to go to commercial break. We'll go finish this after commercial break. How about that?
Sounds good.
So make sure everybody's in your comments and your questions, all that good stuff. We'll make sure we talk to these coaches again in a minute. So if you got any questions for Coach Waggle, Coach Dutton, make sure you go ahead and send them in. And then coming up next, after we get done with Coach Waggle and Coach Dutton, we'll have Coach Barr from Lower Richland High School. He'll be flying in, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
You got that, Meek?
They
say they're ready for you.
Meek Mill, wins and losses.
Great album.
I thought he was going to say Meek Mill for a second. Like, wait, what?
He got Cardi B.
Chris was over there.
Hey,
that's a come up.
Listen, come up of the year. Come up of the year.
At least he's not ushering.
Chris, you struggling with words over there?
Nah, man. I was like, look,
I just want to. I just want to go. You want to climb a tree, Coach? Triple option. Go.
After we get back from commercial break, we'll
want to climb a tree, Coach? Triple option.
Bruh.
Bumble.
Bumble scared. I'm a liar.
Hey, we got it done. It's all about it.
After they answer Chris' question, we'll let Robbie ask his question, and then we'll go ahead and get Coach Barr in here and go from there. All right.
And have you heard Cardi B stuff?
That was funny. Chris, I don't know.
You heard?
I don't know. I just
Cardi B.
You ain't heard it? Me neither.
Listen. It's one of them things that's just like, you don't want to like it, but
you like it.
Yo, this is hilarious.
Welcome back to the Walk Ons.
No, Don, we are not over talking him.
No. Thanks for listening to the Walk Ons. On Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram,
Periscope,
YouTube, all that good stuff. So make sure.
Are you checking your nails?
Make sure you do all that. Make sure you let your friends know, let your family know, let everybody know that we are live. And make sure you check us out on what, Chris?
YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter, Instagram.
No, I already said that.
Oh, you want the one?
Yeah.
You just want the one? iHeartRadio, folks. We are now on iHeartRadio.
How my edges look?
Go
at the Walk Ons.
Come on. Where the pom-poms? Get the pom-poms.
Listen, we're going to have them next week.
What the pom-poms for?
Hey, look, it's all good. I'm cheerleading for my team. It's okay.
It's okay.
We ready.
Back to the coach.
I still try to figure out why you want the pom-pom.
Back to the
But anyway.
This is life.
Welcome back to the Walk Ons once again. last time Chris asked a question and there was an answer, so let's go ahead and have them answer.
Yeah, I think you asked me about what did I take from Coach Fry. Yeah. I guess the main thing would be how to treat people. I think the one thing I really focused on when I got the job was who I wanted to hire and the kind of guy I wanted to bring in. I think one of the things I'm most excited about is the coaches we have on staff, the guys that were there previously and the guys that I hired. They're all team guys. They all have each other's back. I mean, we're a family. When I say we're a family, like we are literally a family. We love each other. We have each other's back, and that made the whole process a lot easier.
Okay.
In terms of building the culture we wanted to build, because I trust those guys. I trust them to do whatever we need to do. So that's probably the main thing, Coach Fry. Just how to treat people and what kind of guys you want around you.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Coach Dutton?
Yeah, I've learned a lot in the last couple of years. Coming from schools before that were, I think the smallest school I'd been in was about 3,600 kids. So, just to being in a place where kids were multi-sport athletes and academics was stressed so greatly, it's been a tremendous learning process. But like I said, it's every year we've gotten more comfortable, and I think the buy-in from the school and the students has been better. Our numbers are growing. We have a brand new facility. We have a practice facility, weight room that's as good as any in the state of South Carolina, and we're continuing to improve that. So I think the pieces are in place, and we're just ready to roll.
All right. Coach Weigel, I wanted to ask you about your schedule. You had mentioned you want to try to peak toward the end of the season. Are you putting in a plan that maybe will give you a chance towards some of the tougher teams toward the end of the season? I was looking, Game 8, you play Ridgeview. Game 9, South Point. And preseason, they got Ridgeview number 6 and South Point number 1. A lot of football to be played between now and then.
Right.
But how do you see that playing out and putting yourself in a position to win against those type of teams?
Yeah, the schedule's difficult. There's not a week off. You look at a team like Swansea, who we beat handily last year, a 3A team, but I can promise you they're going to be one of the most improved teams in the state. They're my dark horse in 3A, so they scare the death out of me. But trying to peak maybe later in the year, I don't know what it was last year. We started off 4-1, and then obviously we got into that region of death that South Point. That had something to do with it, but I felt like the kids, they were just too tight. We got into those games, so we're just going to try to do things to maybe loosen it up a little bit, and by the time we get into region play and things, they all matter, but things really matter in region play. We want the kids to be hitting their stride then.
Coach Dunn, what about for you, man?
What's that?
I said, what about for you, your key games coming up?
Well, we just got to focus on week to week. We want to get better every week. The private schools in town are all vastly improved. But, we're just focusing on tomorrow, or actually today, just doing the best we can and improving each day and, try to make our goal to be the best that we can be at this moment and not focus on the big picture, just getting better at the little things. Paint the picture one day at a time.
Awesome. Right. So make sure you check out the Richmond Northeast Cavaliers and the Carl Newman Cardinals.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think we have one more question.
I was going to ask Coach Dutton. Last year, Eric Kimmery said that Ben Lippen was the most talented team he's ever seen in Skeeza. You got Bryce Thompson transferred to Dutch Fork. So how do you think that balance of power will play out this year with the transfers and the new personnel with some of the
it's going to be interesting
teams
to see. I know that Hammond has a couple of highly recruited young kids on their team. I know that Ben Lippen has some kids that they'll step in and fill in real easily. But I wasn't sad to see Bryce go.
I guess bet you wasn't.
That's not at all.
Oh, he left. Oh,
well,
he is a heck of a football player. So I'm sure that Coach Knotts is happy to have him back.
No doubt.
That's good. Well, make sure you check out Richmond Northeast Cavaliers and the Carl Newman Cardinals. There you go.
Sally went to the seashore.
You're talking about first season for Richmond Northeast will be August 25th versus Swansea at Swansea High School. First home game will be the rival Spring Valley Vikings, and then for Carl Newman, their first game will be at Forest Christian, but their first home game will be on August 25th versus Orangeburg Prep. Coach Dutton, Coach Waggle, thank you for coming out.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Thank you.
On the phone, waiting for us, we have Laurel Richland's head coach, Coach Ronnie Barr. Coach Barr, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Coach Barr is in Charleston, South Carolina for the football coaches clinic. So he's joining us now from Charleston, South Carolina. Coach Barr, second year as head coach for Laurel Richland Diamonds, also the assistant athletic director He is from Florence, South Carolina, and just to put it out there, he is a 3-sport athlete. And all right, Coach. He played at Wilson High School, and he also coached there. He was the defensive coordinator at Wilson High School before. Now he is head coach for Loris and Diamond Hornets. Coach Barr, tell me about your team coming up for this year.
Well, came in a little late last year, so I feel like transition-wise, we're definitely going in the right direction. Kids know me a lot better, know the coaching staff a lot better, know the schemes of offense and defense. So I feel real comfortable about where we are right now, coming up for our first week, getting started in August.
Now, I know y'all lost a lot of key players, mostly on offense, but I know y'all lost the center, Robert Evans, and the big guy, Juwan Wilson, on defensive line. How can those be replaced as for, making sure the team can get back on the right track? I know last year was, not the best of seasons, but to get Loris into the winning ways, how can those guys be replaced?
Well, I think the biggest thing is when you're trying to build a program, it's about pretty much reloading, not rebuilding every year. So we want to kind of put ourselves in a position where we're not kind of set up to have 1 or 2 good seasons, but we're building a program where we can be consistent. I feel like the kids are working hard on both sides, and I feel like replacing those guys won't be easy, but I feel like the guys that were behind them are ready to go and are working very hard.
I wanted to ask, Coach Rod, when you look at the first game, you guys actually have Spring Valley coming up for the first game. How do you think, knowing after, like Marcus actually talked about from last season, knowing you guys are coming into that game, not the first game, sorry, but one of your games actually is Spring Valley. Knowing coming into that season with Spring Valley, actually, how do you feel like some of these kids are coming into the season? What are they bringing to the table? Are they focused? Are they prepared? Are they really ready to improve after that season last year?
Well, we actually have Crestwood, which is a week 1 game. Crestwood. But I really feel like at this point we're at a position where it's been 26 years where Loris hadn't had a winning football season. And I feel like the kids are extremely hungry and they're ready to turn things around. Kind of really trying to stick to a 1 day at a time process, not looking too far ahead, trying to win each day, win each play. And I think the kids are really gravitated to that and took a hold of that.
Definitely.
I got a question for you, Coach. So can you speak to not a question, rather, but can you speak to the importance of the fans, even though it has been somewhat of a struggle as far as winning the games? Speak to the importance of the fans continuing to come out and support the students as y'all make this transition and turn this around and right the ship?
Yeah, I really do, because at the end of the day, when the kids look up in the stands, they want to be able to see their friends, their family, and people from the community. My thing is, we have a rich tradition at Lower Richland in the past in football, rich tradition in track, rich tradition in basketball. And we want to kind of right. Just want to kind of tap into that and keep that going, because I feel like the community is waiting for something big to happen, and I think their wait is about to come to fruition.
Coach Barr, just wanted to ask you how your 7-on-7 went this year, and is that something that you can use as far as offensive philosophy? The 7-on-7, how is that going to translate into your offensive philosophy going into the season?
Well, 7-on-7 has been great this summer for us, a chance for us to get a lot of young guys in to learn the schemes on offense and defense in reference to the passing game as well as the defensive pass game. I just feel like at this point we're in a position where at the end of the day, no offensive line or defensive line, 7-on-7 is great. We ended with a win and determine that limestone on the 19th, but I feel like at this point we're just ready to put the pads on, ready to get going. 7-on-7 was great, keeping everybody going over the summer, but really it's not time to play some real football.
Oh, yeah, get them pads on. That's when you go to work right there. That's when the time to go to work.
Coach Barr.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today, sir?
Doing well.
Oh, man, it's good to have you.
Well, what introduction, Opie?
Being somebody that played, and I guess being around when Lower Richland was good and not so good, other than the tradition you're trying to instill, how far do you feel in your heart you are from getting it to where you need it to be so that you guys can be successful, so that you can get that great fan base that is down there, those diamonds, to come out and see, what's been brewing in the pot.
Oh yeah.
But one thing I will say is, regardless of whether Lower Richmond football is winning or losing, the fans still come out in groves. So I feel like at this point, it's just a matter of us putting a good product on the field. Want to be able to put a product on the field that everybody can be proud of, put a product on the field that the players can be proud of, and kind of get the players out of the mold of expecting bad things to happen. And I think it's kind of been the mold for the last 26 years. And I feel like the crew we have right now, coaching staff-wise and players, are ready to get that turned around.
Awesome. First game for Lower Richmond, as stated, will be at Crestwood on August 18th. They will also play at Spring Valley on August 25th. But first home game will be a team that we are very familiar with, Airport High School, on September the 1st. They'll be at the Diamond Hornet Stadium. They got good key players coming back like Tyler Singleton and Higgins for QB, so make sure you come out and check them out. And also, the band is also on point each time.
Yes.
So
very much so.
Coach Barr, thank you for joining us. We talk to you soon, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Coach.
Hey, coaches, thank y'all for being here. Also, please beat the upper state teams this year. Don't beat each other up too bad. Make sure you get save some for the upper state team.
All of them.
Please do. I want to see.
All right, Coach Barr.
I want to see our districts actually.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
These counties take it this year, man. Y'all, that's what I'm talking about. Got me excited.
Football! Are you ready for some football?
Ready to watch some foosball?
Are you ready for some Coon the Cardinals? To the Cardinals.
Why is Marcus walking?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Take it easy, man.
You see, it's called the Walk Ons for a reason. We just get up and walk.
Right. You just walk.
Just walk on and walk off.
He walked like it hurt.
That's the diesel, baby.
Right, diesel.
The diesel, baby.
Chest sticking out.
The diesel.
Hey, Chris. Your boy. Hey, the two people struggling with words are sitting at the beginning of the table.
Hold on. Wait a minute. That's what we're not gonna do.
Marcus and Chris is both struggling with words.
I forgot.
You got it done though.
No,
it's all that matters.
I forgot to put my chapstick on.
We're coming back in.
We back on? Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Welcome back to the Walk Ons.
How about you carry on, Opie? How about that?
Welcome back to the Walk Ons. We're back. Please follow us on Stitch. Stitch?
What?
Twitch.
Oh, Twitch.
I got you.
Twitch, Periscope,
Instagram,
Lethal Weapon, all that good stuff.
YouTube, Facebook Live,
Coming to America,
and iHeartRadio. We are now on iHeartRadio, folks.
Go team, go!
Never again. That'll be open to show number. Stitch. What's that? Lilo and Stitch?
Where Lilo at?
Never. Wow.
I'm done with y'all, man.
Well, we at near the end of the show, so we got last say. So what everybody got on their minds here?
You know what? We was talking about this earlier, and I'm gonna put it out there.
Go ahead.
You know what? I've been watching ESPN, and actually they've been talking about putting them little chips in people's hands.
Chips?
Yeah.
Like microchip.
Okay, so it's a little microchip, like it's like a piece of rice. Okay, and they're talking about putting it in people's hands so you can actually open the door. You can turn around and then you can actually scan your hands and get something out the vending machine, go to the computer and do it. Now, how would y'all feel about that?
I want the freedom to commit a crime.
I think I saw part of that. It's actually for like some employers are doing that for their employees.
In Wisconsin.
But what happens when they get terminated? They gotta go in there and get it out.
Key state though,
right?
Wisconsin,
right. But
it's not happening over here, folks.
This is my thing. This is the thing I don't understand. Now, you can check my blood pressure with all of that. I don't want you to put some in my body and just call. No.
Why'd they cut you off for like a second?
Conspiracy theorists. Now look, there's a lot more that can be said about this, but I'm gonna digress for today. I'm not gonna go that far.
I just had to put it out there because I seen that today and I was like, wow. And they were talking about ESPN.
No, last thing I need to happen is for me to talk about, hey, you need to wake up at 5 o'clock, and I don't never wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning unless I have to.
Hey,
get your arms start shaking.
Start shaking and vibrating.
Wake up. Get up.
Hey, Marcus's hand gonna be shaking. Marcus, oh my God, oh God.
I hope my boss do not see this. I do not want him.
All right,
John, if you're watching this, please do not consider. Get chips.
I'm just saying
for our workplace.
Oh, you know what? The only chip I want is potato chips.
I want that $1 billion chip so we win something. Put something on black and we can win.
Speaking of chips, let me get some of them Bitcoin.
Bobby, what you got in your mind, man?
Just great to be here, guys. I hope I can get invited back. So I really.
You'll be back.
Oh, you
hell yeah.
Robert wanted to be conservative.
We gotta bring the Tigers back. We gotta bring the Tigers back so we can spread the love, so we can throw it in the Carolina face that y'all got. You know, the national. You gotta do it, man. We gotta bring you back every chance we get.
Opie, that was on your mind?
No, I got a lot. I can't say what's on my mind.
How much time we got?
I'll come to you last. Chris, what you got on your mind?
Well, me and Tremaine was talking about this earlier. So I saw on Twitter somebody said that Kyrie Irving is better than D Rose in his prime at 100% health.
No.
Yes.
D Rose at 100%. Kyrie have a chance. That's like I told him. It's like Shaq telling Dwight Howard to ties up with Shaq. It's not gonna happen. In his prime, Shaq in his
Tristan
prime.
Thompson can beat Dwight Howard at this point. Like
no, Tristan Thompson after wearing them tight pants.
That's that Kardashian effect.
Right. That's what we said.
Tristan Thompson got a Lula Rose.
You know, the only person that had a great outcome from messing with the Kardashians, James Harden.
You know, really?
Yeah. James Harden has had to come up since then.
If Russell Westbrook didn't get that triple double, it definitely would have went to James Harden.
I will give you that one.
So he's been. Ever since he didn't fall off. Reggie Bush fell off.
Yeah, true.
What's the other guy named fell off? Yeah, there you go.
Odom.
I'll say this.
Listen, it's a whole nother
I was
deal.
gonna save him because I know people, so I wasn't.
If you want to make that point though, Opie, you know every person Chloe has dated, like Tristan Thompson, he won his championship. You know James Harden, he didn't win that last year.
Hold on.
About the year before.
But like I was telling,
they had started dating after.
But no,
after.
Yeah,
my bad.
after you won.
But like I said, but like I told Tremaine earlier, Chloe and the Kardashian, that's OJ daughter. So that ain't the Kardashian curse, man.
That is your story.
I'm just saying. That ain't the Kardashian curse.
That is your story.
So I'm just saying.
If they come calling, I'm gonna stick in your.
No. You are not.
I got something serious that's on my mind though. They had some bills that's passed. I do, I like to stay political and keep people upbeat. And I was listening to Angela Rye, and South Carolina is a state that has not passed the bill to stop voters from prolonging their register, so you can vote early. So that's big ups to South Carolina for keeping it open so that we can vote early and often, and not hinder us in voting. So I felt that was good, because Georgia, North Carolina have petition to pass those bills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can't vote. They cut it off at a certain time, so it's not, you can't vote as often or as much as it's frequent. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty. People need to share that. So
shout out to Angela Rye, by the way.
My thought is, I guess I'll go ahead and put that out here. I'm part vegetarian now. Because I saw this documentary, What the Hell.
Oh, you saw it?
I just watched it last night. I watched it.
What you thought of it?
It's first off, I'm gonna eat pork.
He said, it had no effect on him whatsoever.
Wait a minute,
none whatsoever.
Pineapples.
Hold on.
You gonna serve me pork? I don't know about you gonna serve me.
Look, man, say you don't care nothing about that vegan lifestyle.
Hey, no, it was. You know what? They had some valid points. They had some very valid points, and it is kind of nasty. You won't want to do it, but I'm eating pork. I want bacon.
Why are vegans so aggressive though? That's what I want to know. Why are they so aggressive?
I don't know, but I am.
It's because they ain't eating no meat.
I love my vegetables, and I lose a lot. I lost 12 pounds. Y'all.
Marcus, you gonna eat Wheaties?
For Chris, Opie, Tremaine, Wabi, watching today's show. Watch for part 2 show. We got at least 10 coaches coming next week, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll see you next week on the Walk Ons.
Boom.
Bye. Go a little something.
But how do you say that?
Huh?
I still gonna eat pork.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
It just told you that pork is bad.
Pork is bad.
No.
It's bad for you.
I saw it.
But look,
the movie said don't do that.
I'm still
Hold on, boo-boo. Pork is bad for everybody except me. So you can
things that and it's not that we don't know everything. We have it right here. A lot of times it's Googling. A lot of people, that's the first thing they go with.